Welcome back to WPC 2014, the Eastern Division, and I am What Is Hip. With me tonight is Kato Guy. We're going to be watching game number 2 of Vici Gaming going up against Tongfu. Game number 1 started a little bit slow, but soon fast and furious. A couple of huge team fights, and in the end, it's Vici Gaming that take game number 1.
Yep. Vici Gaming showing their experience and dominance right there and just really asserted control. Like you said, both teams played very cautiously there at the start, but it all worked out in the end as we got very heavy action throughout the mid-game and to the end of that one. So as this draft starts underway, Greg, we get to finally see an invoker grabbed. He does make his way through the banning phase somehow, but has been quickly and promptly picked up from I know Tongfu.
Yeah, and this hero, I mean, he's just been so good lately. Quas, Wex, Invoker, a lot of players really hate it because it is much easier to execute than the Quas, X, or Invoker. But as a result of this, I mean, it's become extremely popular. The other good news about the Quas, Wex, oh my god, Invoker, is that it's good even if you're behind. It's really good for defending your base. It's really good for defending your towers. Tornado EMP has much more impact on those big team fights than an even kind of early game Quas, X, or Invoker could ever have. So I really like the hero lately, and definitely a huge impact on the game.
Yeah, but with picking up the Invoker, they do hand over once again the ever so precious Ancient Apparition right over to VG, and also we might see a rerun of the ROTK Batrider. So two great foundations to an excellent team fight. One heavy initiate, great offlaner, and one who has the ever so powerful Chilling Touch and Ice Blast. So we'll see if it ends up blowing in their face once again.
Yeah, and the first couple of picks here look very familiar. I mean, like you said, we've got the Batrider, we've got the Ancient Apparition, we've even got the Nyx on the other side for Tongfu. Q played that last time around, and so it's going to be a pretty similar lineup for them. And wow, look at these bans from Tongfu in the second phase. Get right down to business, ban out the Faceless Void, ban out the Templar Assassin. Both were hugely successful for Vici in the first game, but I mean, you can be assured that they've got some other heroes up their sleeve. This is not a one-trick pony team. Some of the most reliable heroes in large hero pool for all of these players. I mean, just because they picked it last game doesn't mean it's all they've got, so I'm sure we'll see some fireworks out of Vici Gaming this time around as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Tongfu were like, hey, I see you picked up the two same heroes. We're not going to allow you to just kind of set that whole thing up again so quickly and promptly banning out the Faceless Void and the Templar Assassin. And as you can see right there in the middle of your screen, the ban pick rate, it's like we said, we finally get to see an Invoker, and that's because 64% of the time he is banned out. And I want to send a quick props to Neo TV and these fantastical graphics and overlays they get to, we get to use there. And as you see, Sand King probably running back and forth there to the fountain, trying to decide on where they're going to grab him. And there you can see he was grabbed, and now they will throw him potentially to the bottom lane, which, as they're predicting, could be, what is this, a safe lane try?
Yeah, it looks like it probably will be. I mean, definitely the components, and this is, again, a tri lane with some pretty huge killing potential. I mean, the biggest issue is they might need some sort of longer range stun. I mean, Sand King's Burrow Strike at like level 1 and 2 is it's a very dinky range, not very far at all. So maybe they need another kind of setup, something like a Luna or something like that. It's going to be hard to say, but definitely possible that they'll be looking for some sort of longer range initiation. And in the second ban phase, Vici has banned out the Rubik as well as the Venomancer. Just two very strong supports. I mean, Rubik definitely a playmaking support. Veno just very consistent, makes it very annoying to push into towers. And look at that. Again, we see the Centaur for the side of Tongfu.
Who will be the true offlaner here? Even whoever's controlling the overlay is not too sure. So we're going to run what looks like the Nyx Assassin potentially to the mid and up through the jungle. Now all the way to the top potentially. But yeah, I mean, I still would kind of favor the Centaur to be right there promptly so in the offlane where he soaks up that damage. Man, he's going to have bad flashbacks, though, going against Ancient Apparition once more. But how VG Gaming have picked up their Sand King, I like to see Sand King typically used more aggressively in the early game. Maybe grab up a smoke, make a gank happen on the mid, on the Invoker, and make it happen. But there we go. Mirana grabbed up as the fourth grab here for VG and what they would assume would be the safe lane core member.
Yeah, and I actually really like this little tri-lane here. Has a lot of potential. Once they shut down the Centaur, they've got some decent roaming potential as well on the Invoker. I really like this tri-lane. Definitely a high kill potential. They are going to have pretty good execution. I mean, you can't rely on that arrow hitting right away. You can't rely on Sand King. But between the two of them, I think they'll be able to set something up. Sand King, just until he gets those levels, has such a little dinky initiation range. But to follow it up, they've got the cold feet. That's almost certainly going to latch if they hit their first stun, hit the arrow, and that will probably be a dead Centaur. I wonder if this is going to be an offlane Centaur. I mean, occasionally we do see more of farming Centaurs. Nyx as a support, I think, is much worse than a farming Centaur. I mean, it's hard to say until we see the rest of their heroes, but I would not be totally surprised if this was some sort of like a tri-lane Centaur. He's even pretty good as just a support. All he needs is like levels. He doesn't really... I mean, the Blink Dagger is really nice, but if you get the levels, you have the damage. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how they round out their lineup here.
Yeah, they have a lot of potential, and they can easily audible things up with their final 2 picks to come. And on the side of VG, they need to know what are they going to do to try to contest this Invoker in the mid lane. And I know, well, I don't know, Greg, you tell me. Invoker, what are going to be some grade A pickups here that are still available in the pool to kind of contest his heavy output of damage?
Well, it depends how they want to do it. I mean, a lot of teams think that the best way to deal with an Invoker is to shut him down early. Your other options are picking up a hero that just directly counters him, something like a Doom. Unfortunately, that's not available this time around, as he's been banned out in the first phase.
I'm thinking maybe the Puck. The Puck was talked about being very a prized pickup already in the Eastern scene, and I'm actually surprised he hasn't been banned up yet. This is where it would come in. If they make the ban or the pick, it should happen right around here, but I feel like he's something that VG might consider grabbing for themselves, put in that mid lane against the Invoker.
Yeah, that's a fairly... I mean, with the Wex matchup, I think it's fairly good for the Puck. Exort can be a bit annoying if they spam out the Forward Spirits, and wow, a Shadow Demon actually picked up for Tongfu.
Is this not going to be Quas Wex anymore?
This might be an Exort Invoker. I mean, normally when you see the Shadow Demon, that very heavily points toward an Exort Invoker, and they've got the Centaur as well. I'm starting to think more and more that this Centaur is in fact going to be in the easy lane. It's a very easy setup. I mean, you just get the disruption into Soul Catcher, then stomp them when they get out. Sunstrike on top of that all with a double edge very easily can catch out a hero. I mean, the other thing is that Shadow Demon is very good against Batrider, so that could be their lone reason for picking it up, and they still want to go for a Wex Invoker. It's going to be a bit hard to tell.
Yeah, no, definitely. Disruptor can be used very defensively, and that would work nice against the heavy initiate that the Batrider is going to bring. And yeah, I'm wondering also if their 5th and final pickup might add a little more global presence. I mean, we're not going to see Nature's Prophet, obviously, and Ancient Apparition has already been picked up by VG, but they might try to look to build on that a little bit further. But the goal in mind, as far as what I'm seeing, I mean, given variables can happen, but they really need someone for down the road, the late game. Like, who is going to be their hardcore pickup here? A lot of options are there, but they are not going to allow Lifestealer to be one of those options.
Yeah, Ember Spirit banned out as well. Definitely a good fighting carry. Maybe they pick some sort of farming mid laner, or something like a Naga, or something like a... I mean, it kind of depends how they want to play this one. I mean, it's possible that they just want to try to win early and they just pick up another aggressive mid laner, or they want to bring it out, have some safety. You pick sort of a farm-oriented mid laner, and just protect him, use that tri-lane to create some space, win the other lanes, and I'm not sure. I like both of these drafts quite a bit, though. Both have some pretty explosive elements, both have pretty good initiation. No Faceless Void around this time, so these team fights are going to look very, very different, but both teams, again, I think looking to be decently aggressive.
Decently aggressive, but not too much for late game. I mean, even just Mirana on her own can be questionable as far as getting in the heavy damage. She's going to need... They're going to need something else who can bring in the farm, like, you know, a farming mid laner as well. So both teams might be looking for something very similar. Someone who can take advantage of the early game. And, well, I mean, the graphic right there in the middle is kind of spoiling it, supposedly. But maybe a Shadow Fiend will be the grab here for VG.
That definitely would fulfill what I was talking about. I mean, definitely fills sort of a similar role as the Naga Siren, so I actually really like this hero. He does require a bit of space. You have to clear out a bit of room for him, but if you do it, he can definitely have a huge impact on the game. Tons and tons of damage in the team fight. And who is going to be the last hero to round it all out for Tongfu? It's hard to say what they're looking for. I mean, I guess they need another hero for the tri-lane or something like that, but we'll have to wait and find out. Shouldn't be long.
I mean, Invoker going against the Shadow Fiend's pretty questionable. I mean, Invoker can put out some heavy damage, especially if he goes for that Quas Exort kind of a build. But Shadow Fiend, man, he is the king of CS, at least in my eyes. This is a man who could put out and hit like a truck early. And look at that, Viper going to be grabbed up. They don't want to even deal with that kind of a setup. So Viper going to be the one to probably counter back on the Shadow Fiend. A very nice setup for them. And they're going to do an audible and throw the Invoker potentially to the top safe lane.
Alright, well, we'll see how this works out. I mean, there's definitely potential that this could be some sort of a farming Viper as well, but immediately we see Tongfu rotating down here to the bottom. They put down a ward right away, and Ancient Apparition would not be surprised to perhaps see him make a pit stop in the mid lane, maybe try to help Super out just a little bit, and looks like this is still going to be a mid lane Invoker, but it is Centaur who is going to be in that top lane. He's going to be solo, though, as it looks like, is this really going to be a tri-lane bottom?
This is not too good, Greg. I'm not going to favor the Centaur Warner against the Bat Rider. I mean, he might be able to take some punches, but if he gets the stacks in of the Sticky Napalm, I mean, a Bat Rider can be very fearsome, especially going against the melee heroes. So we'll see if they play an audible. I mean, I already see Sand King making the rotation up. He picks up a DD for himself, so, you know, maybe they can get something going here, even though Centaur can be pretty tanky. Nope. Long road rotation. They want that mid lane. They want to take that Invoker down.
Shadow Fiend needs an advantage as early as he can get it, and getting a kill here in the mid lane, definitely a way to do it, but look at the range of Burrow Strike. I mean, I was talking about it throughout the draft. It is so small. It's just ridiculously dinky. Look at that.
Uh-oh, bottom lane, though. Bottom lane, they're thinking about making a go on Ancient Apparition. Disruption to first fly out. Nice time with the Impale right there. Now Viper, even blocked by the Illusions. Very convenient and works out in their favor. And First Blood promptly picked up by Tongfu.
Wow, so I mean, apparently this is going to work out for them in the top lane. The Centaur is going to go down, caught the very tail end of that, but man, the tri-lane versus the dual lane, generally not where you want to be, and immediately Vici just gets punished for having that matchup, but they do get a kill for themselves, so.
That was very convenient for the Disruptor to catch him in that thin little aisleway right there, but I'm liking the aggression they're already pulling out. Tongfu once again, I mean, not like last time. We had to wait a full 10 minutes till we got the first blood, but already they're trading 1 for 1 here, and they're lingering on the sidelines. They want to try to find something out, and H-Apparition lingers nearby, and they're going to scare him all the way back.
Yeah, and he is going to be quite afraid. Well, Shadow Fiend, wow, they get a kill in the mid lane, and Invoker, I think the tower actually finishing off the Sand King, so a lot more action early here.
Yeah, I want to percolate myself here. Not like last game.
I know, yeah, I was not ready.
I was like, okay, this is going to be a nice, relaxing start to a game. Both teams playing really methodical, but no, not at all. Complete 180 here. Very aggressive coming out from both sides.
Yeah, both teams looking for blood, looking to pick up some kills here. And Super is pretty low. Looks he's taking some decent harass, and looks like this is going to be a Wex Invoker. Has picked up 2 levels in the Quas, and normally that does indicate that this is going to be a Wex Invoker. And we'll see how it continues here. There are a couple of heroes waiting in the mid lane trying to kill Super. And Shadow Fiend, he kind of just waddles around at these early levels, doesn't have a ton of HP, is a fairly easy target for these early kills, and both teams really looking to solidify an advantage in the mid lane. Look at those stacks, 17 already, partly due to that kill. Man, that is very nice for him.
Yeah, he's hitting hard. They're really slow pacing this one. Tongfu waiting for the right opportunity to jump in. They think it's now. Disruption to fly out. They catch him down. Nice time with the Soul Catcher, and this should be the end of it. A few more right clicks will do it, and they get it, and promptly so picked up from Mr. UU9 on the Invoker. Gets a bit of redemption for himself, and as they move up 3-2.
Yep, and Q missed the stun completely, but it still worked out for them in the end. I'm not sure why he was so quick on the gun for that one. I mean, it's not like Shadow Fiend really can do anything to get away, so I think waiting just a bit just to make sure you get it. Didn't hurt them in the end. The Cold Snap was more than enough with the Soul Catcher to bring out the damage to bring him down. But in the future, it might not be as successful, and they smoke up. They're going right back.
Why not, right? I don't think he'll expect it twice.
Yeah, he won't expect it a second time.
Like, yeah, here we go. They're
rotate out. Oh, God, there's a disruption.
Catcher. I got the stun this time. Yep, he got it. A few more right clicks. Can we do it again? Oh, man, Super gets taken down once more. This is devastating for a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and this is the reason why some teams don't like picking the Shadow Fiend. I mean, he's just can't do anything about these early ganks. You're pretty much at the mercy of the other team, and when they pull out a little trick like that, they walk away, smoke them immediately, turn right back around, turn the car around, go back home, and kill the Shadow Fiend once again. It makes his life very difficult. Now he's just going to have to walk back to the mid lane. He does have his bottle. At least this didn't happen before he got his bottle. That would have been very, very bad.
I mean, part of me was just like, wait, what if they did the third time? That would just be fantastic.
Super would be like, all right, we're done. I'm leaving.
He's like, you know what?
See you later. This is way too hard.
A little bit of space coming out now for this Mirana. She's able to farm it up, so we're not going to see that typical aggression. But she actually is leveling up Arrow. I'm more of a fan, Greg, of leveling up the Star Storm promptly so. I feel like the heavy nuke and splash is just something very nice. But she's thinking that maybe she'll be able to get the Arrow off a little more often and would use the extra damage. Did you have any thoughts personally on going this 2-2-1 Mirana?
Normally, I'm a huge fan of just getting one level in the Arrow, but I've talked to a few people who have said that getting 2 levels in the Arrow is optimal. It gives you a lot more damage on that 5-second arrowhead. But MT, he's going to be backing up, gets a really long-range stomp off. Going to stop the forward progress here, and Tongfu going to turn this around. Disruption is here, and now RTK, the one on the run. Impale comes through, so Mana Burn as well. There's the double edge, and oh, that Moonlight Shadow. And now he actually gets the Centaur. Way too many stacks up. And now Q, is he going to go down as well? Vici Gaming outplaying the top lane. That was a really nice set of execution there.
Thank goodness Mirana happened to just quickly hit level 6 and get the Moonlight Shadow out. That was definitely very clutch and convenient for them. And just end up outplaying with the elusiveness of that Bat Rider and stacking it up. So, unfortunate for Tongfu.
Bottom lane. Sorry, Fox. Oh, he lashes. Get him! Kill! No, what the... No, Sylar! Oh, they didn't think it was going to latch. Oh my god. Well, that was a kill that should have happened. That's not something that you see very often. And definite little misplay there.
We've been seeing a few of that. You know, they could be just, you know, the lights of the land just bearing down on you, making sure you get it. You don't want to, you know, second guess yourself too much, but you don't want to like overthrow yourself and commit to something that might not happen, and it kind of blows up in your face already. The mid lane's been hindered enough, so they got to be a little careful at time to time. UU9 making his return back to the mid lane. He is losing in the CS. 23 to match up against Shadow Fiend's 29. 2030 now.
And you might wonder how that's happening, but it's really just because of this small camp right here. People on the Radiant love playing Shadow Fiend. This is really one hero that has a huge advantage on the Radiant side, just because this camp right here, and since this has been upgraded to a larger camp, he doesn't get quite as many souls out of it usually, but he does get more farm, more XP, so he loves it, moves down to this camp. He's going to stack that one as well. Super just putting on a clinic here.
Yeah, definitely needs to do so after, you know, those 2 quick pickoffs. So that's just very nice for him to be able to get that side reliable farm. But top lane here, Fi, Burrow Strike to get away. Disruption still goes off. The ball moves over, but he's able to get away. Can he do it? Nope, they're running in with the Centaur. Stuff to fly out. Can he get out of this one? Impale flies and catches him. The lockdown working in their favor. Firefly gets him over the cliff and away from any danger. And now Tongfu recontrol the lead once more, 5-4.
Yep, and just back and forth kills in both of all these lanes. Bottom lane, man, I'm still just thinking about Sylar. Must be a little sad about that one. Missed that kill on Sorry Fox. Would have been really nice. He is going for treads, so they've sort of settled into this off lane Viper against sort of a pseudo dual lane. But really the Ancient Apparition's pulling. But in the top lane, they miss this Impale again. Now FY's here. There's a Moonlight Shadow on MT pulling him back. He does have 3 stacks on him. Pops off the stick. There's the Stomp as well. Now FY moving forward. Not enough mana quite yet for Burrow Strike. Going to come on around. There it is. And now MT has to run back. Sentry goes down. They are going to be able to see him, but now they're so low. 1 goes down. 2 TPs coming back. Is this going to be enough? UU9 does have Tornado invoked up. Impale going to sail through. RTK most certainly going to go down here. Oh, nice attempt at the Tornado. Doesn't quite catch him though.
1-for-1 trade in the end. They did have to make the rotation though, and this is a little more space for Mirana, so it's just a slight nudge over for VG Gaming, I would say, at the end of that one. But yeah, but I'm glad they're able to get something out of it. Tongfu once again in this game, they're doing a nice little head start for themselves, getting some pickoffs and making things happen. But if the same story goes, Vici Gaming with their just veteran experience, finding the better team fights and committing to the, at the right times, they pulled it off last time. Let's see if Tongfu can kind of keep their composure and, keep the momentum going.
To be honest, I don't think that massive rotation was really worth it. They'd get 1 kill out of it, but Super is just farming like crazy now. He has himself a triple stack over here. He's going to clear that one out. Has treads finished up. And this is going to be a huge problem. I mean, even when they committed all this in the mid lane, he's still just getting so much farm.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, and already the late game kind of questionable for Tongfu on their draft. I mean, an invoker will kind of take you pretty far with heavy burst and crowd control, but he's not going to be putting out serious damage. Rotations to come in. Vici Gaming with the help of a smoke. Batrider now with that Blink Dagger wants to put it to use. Catches out the Centaur and pulls him right back. This should be an easy setup right now for the Cold Feet. And the Starstorm will finish things off. Ancient Apparition is the one to get the kill, but a nice pickup for Vici Gaming to even things right back up.
Yeah, and the good thing for the Batrider in that top lane, the other reason why that wasn't really too great for Tongfu was he bought his Blink Dagger right before he died, so... a bit unfortunate for them, as 8-minute Blink Dagger comes out from Batrider, who didn't even touch the jungle. Not something that we see very often.
Yep, just part of the reason why this hero is so good in that off lane. He can find the farm where he needs to, give him the jungle, the side creeps to pull away from the opposing team or what have you. Now taking even his own creeps now. So just going to inherit that farm even further, and just like last time, ROTK putting to use and taking advantage of that Blink Dagger right away.
Yeah, and we see FY pulling out the new Rage, the Sandstorm Sand King. You get 2 levels in it. Stack up those camps, get tons of farm for yourself. Enables you to get an earlier Blink Dagger. Extremely effective. Been seeing this all the time. And it's actually Batrider right now that's topping the net worth chart. Oh, he is up in the air. Super, can he get away from this? Moonlight Shadow popped again. It seems like that spell is always off cooldown right when they need it. Are they going to turn this one around? No lasso yet, so I think they're going to wait.
Yeah, they'll wait and see if anyone decides to linger and hang back, but even with the help of the Sand King nearby as well. Tongfu, though, promptly will retreat back. Hopefully Invoker doesn't get a little too overzealous in his mid lane and doesn't get caught out, but I guess without having eyes on most of the majority of VG Gaming, he will be very cautious.
Yep, so 6 kills to 6. It's all even up here at 11 minutes. And just to think, in the last game, we barely had a kill yet, so this game much more active. Both teams... pedal to the metal, really. Now we're going to see Super rotate towards the top lane with Sylar as well, so both the cores here moving up.
I think it's time to take a tower. I think that's what they're thinking right now, moving both cores there. But regardless, I'm just looking over Tongfu's kind of setup, and I think they wanted to get a lot of things going for themselves in this game sooner than later, because as it comes to the late game, they don't really have a lot of true damage to work with, especially going against the Shadow Fiend, and even if the Mirana gets all that farm, it's going to be a rough day when you only have a Viper to fall back on.
Yeah, it's this is a bit of an interesting lineup for Tongfu. I mean, this is really a mid-game accentuated lineup. They have the Centaur, they need him to get the Blink Dagger, he's getting there, he's not too close, and then the other thing they really need is this mechanism finished up in the Viper, and he is a bit closer. Once both those items come online, I think you're going to see Tongfu looking for the team fight. So the problem here is that Vici, they've just found a way to make themselves much more impactful early here with the big items on, I mean the biggest one honestly is the Blink Dagger on the Batrider. Having it that early with Super still getting that much farm after being shut down so hard, it's going to be really hard I think for Tongfu to just deal with that. I mean to even get to their mid-game team fight without it just being way too late.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to be able to make something happen, it's going to have to happen relatively soon.
Another Blink Dagger. FY.
Here we go. The initiation is just getting even more crazy right now. VG Gaming are going to set the pace of these fights real quickly when that's something Tongfu wanted to do. I mean, even if the Viper gets this mechanism, most typically going to the Aghanim Scepter, what have you, that's not going to be any sort of reliable damage. Just you might be able to survive a little bit longer from these onslaughts to come, but VG Gaming, I think, looking very promising for him.
Yeah, and that was actually really weird. There were 3 Tongfu. They're still doing it. They're like group jungling for some reason. This is not very efficient. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess they're afraid since there's heroes missing from the map, and rightly so. Vici are smoked up in the mid lane. Ice Blast coming over, Tornado moving in. There's the Stampede, but uh-oh, ROTK has found Epicenter as well for FY, and now they're just going to try to get through the Invoker here before he can do much. Force Staff, oh, Ghost Walk disjoints the last hit. He is out of here. And no kills. Sentries go down, though. They need to be careful, ROTK.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Tongfu managed to get out and away from that one. They thought they saw an opportunity to make a jump, but a good counter initiative coming out. ROTK gets a prompt lasso, but the rest of his squad weren't able to break through the creep wave and get the damage out there to finish off the Invokers, so they kind of just move on to this stalemate, but and they will rotate away.
I think the Ice Blast was a bit preemptive. He kind of just shot it in there. If he had waited till the initiation and shot it right in the middle of the river, I think they would have gotten a couple kills there, but just a bit off the mark by Vici. They don't look quite as tight as they were in the first game, but definitely a lot higher execution level in this game, so those little misplays I think are going to happen. But Q in the top lane, he's Vendetta. There's two heroes here. Oh, I thought maybe he was going to look for a two-man, but oh, the arrow sails. Oh my god, it just misses. Vendetta goes off. Impale misses as well, and now there's an Ice Blast sailing in, and they're getting quite low. He's going to be looking to line up a Burrow Strike. Oh, Spike Carapace, and he does get one. Gets a three-man Burrow Strike. Holy crap, he does die for it, but that was incredible.
Worth it. Went out like a man right there.
That's like guns blazing.
Excellent. He's like, I'm going to go out like a man. Happy to trade. Two or what? Yeah, no, two in the end for that one, so well worth it, man. Ice Blast, the Windling down. Arrow sails right behind Q, but he does manage to conveniently sidestep it, and now he knows he's in a bit of a trouble if there are enemies nearby. TP's away.
Oh, mid lane. Sorry Fox is going to go down, and Vici, I think they're definitely getting the better of this one so far. They use the lasso, super able to bring down the Viper.
That's their core. I mean, that's supposed to be Tongfu's late game, and he's already getting taken apart with just the help of two, so not looking too good here. They're going to need a lot. They're definitely going to need Centaur to get this Blink Dagger going.
He really needs it.
It's taking long. I mean, it's initiation that they could use, but it's taking so long. Part of the reason we saw them doing that group jungling earlier, it's very desperate right now, chopping away, trying to get that gold for the Blink Dagger, but it might just be a little too late.
Yeah, and Tongfu just a bit off their mark in execution as well. Both teams smoking, but there is no one down here, again, for Vici Gaming. This is the second time in the series we've seen this happen. Tongfu on the hunt for someone. There's just no one here. And because of it, Vici's going to get a free tower.
I'm actually surprised. Man, Vici has a lot going for him, considering the fact that they have only taken the one tower. Actually, they've taken no towers. That's a lot of gold to come in, and they're very confident right now. They've been winning some of these team fights, or at least feeling very confident, so they promptly take the top tower. Rotations to come in the mid lane, however. ROTK very cautious. Great game sense, pulls back right there. Tornado won't quite catch. This illusion is going to be going down, though. Ripped apart with the help of the Viper Strike, and promptly so, Tongfu will step back as the AA Blast will come in.
That was one hell of a bait by Super. He was up on the high ground. Disruption sailing through. There's the Moonlight Shadow, but now FY wants to turn this one around. There's the Burrow Strike as well. XBJ solo Flame Break. Gonna finish him off. Now they're on the run. MT comes through. Wow, trading kill for kill. 3 for 2 in favor of Tongfu. And in the end, it looks like Sorry Fox gonna go down. Sylar picking up another kill. So 4 fall for 2 in favor of Vici Gaming. That Epicenter Burrow Strike just buying them a lot of damage in the team fight, and then the Shadow Fiend just helps finish it off there with that Requiem, and then they just clean it up.
And once that fight didn't initially go, they should have just pulled the eject button and got away as fast as possible. I mean, they even left the opportunity for Vici Gaming to counter initiate. Excellent bait coming out from Super. Just clever work. The mind games once again showing. But
seriously, that bait was insane. Like, he was up on the high ground, and he was like way up here, and he just sent one illusion down from the illusion rune, and they just used a lot on it. I mean, if they had all those abilities, I think that fight looks a lot different. So Super he's just been playing out of his mind both these games.
Yep. Well, now taking advantage of the top lane, using that Midas. Come on, Tongfu. There's that blink from the Centaur, but promptly interrupted with the Burrow Strike. Here's Q, though, to try to get something going for himself. Can Sylar get away from this one? Ice Blast goes out. She does leap and get out, and there you go. Blown up right in her face. Centaur goes out, and the potential shatter nags him out with the Burrow Strike from 5. Very, very nice work from Vici Gaming. Pick up 2 already. Quick Sandstorm. Can he get away from this one? They're on the hunt.
Dagger. Oh, he's good.
Yep, there you go.
Unless there's a tornado.
And a TP. That would have been pretty sweet, but nope, Tongfu, man. Shut down once again.
Yeah, and Vici get another tower bottom, and I believe that's the BKB. Yes, it is purchased up for super, so things only gonna get better in the top lane though. Ooh, oh my god, what a 4-staff. Is he actually gonna get away? Cold Snap procs, and there's the Viper Strike. No, he is gonna go down. Sorry Fox, able to track that one down. Feel a little kick in the butt from U9.
They had their own little 4-staff to help Viper get over the cliff and get close enough to pull out the Viper Strike. So nice little thing. It's a mini victory there for Tongfu, but man, they have a steep hill to climb in this. Speaking of, so you can see a steep hill by if you look at the gold graph there, Greg. It's definitely going up towards VG.
Look at the XP graph. Holy crap. That's actually, that's way more than I thought it was going to be. But earlier when I was mentioning the inefficiencies, the group jungling, it's just they're paying for it now. They're definitely paying for it. And Super has just created so much extra XP for himself, as well as Sylar with the Midas. Things have just gone really well. And
they wanted to grab MT. The blast, just in front. He doesn't get hit by it, so Centaur very thankful for that one. Blinks back and goes to the fountain, so they will not have him in this engagement, but they want to make something happen anyways. Nice tornado with an EMP. Now shut down the Shadow Fiend, who has nothing to work with. Nope, he will end up falling, but they want to get something in trade. But meanwhile, Viper catching out the Ancient Apparition in the side. Stay in the woods! Gets taken down on the sideline, so nice little 2-for-0 for Tongfu.
Yeah, that's the kind of pickoffs that they need. Honestly, that execution looked a bit sloppy from Vici. I mean, they fought without ROTK compared to what we've been seeing in the rest of these engagements, which have been really tight, really focused. That one just a bit off the mark, and they lose 2 for it. You really don't want to lose your Shadow Fiend at this point. But it looks like they're going to be okay. They smoked up. And they're looking for someone. There is no one in this jungle, though. Everyone in the bottom lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tower return back here for Tongfu. It's a little bit of momentum going in their favor, but you know, just time and time again, I'll say it's going to take a lot for them to get towards that late game, and they only have so much time left. I mean, this pushes on to 30 minutes. I'd have to say, as long as we don't see any sort of drastic throws, Greg, this is still definitely VG Gaming's game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and they just have, I think, a lot better scaling into the later parts of the game. With the Shadow Fiend, Ice Blast, honestly, is very good in later parts of the game. And Sylar is getting a lot of farm here. It looks like he's going for that utility build. I imagine this is going to be a Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, no, definitely could be optimal. Better safe than sorry, I guess, so works out.
I think the biggest thing is he can also put it on Super. And then Super can kind of just man up in there with the BKB on as well, and then they won't be able to get the Purge off on him. It'll save him from Viper Strike as well, so...
And look at these people all hanging behind enemy lines. They're going right for Sylar. Yep, nice global to jump in from Centaur. EMP to follow, but the Moonlight Shadow won't help him for long. He gets taken down, but Super shows up, laying out the heavy damage, takedowns the Centaur. Here comes the big blast, and it rips him down. 2 fall in the end. Now Viper on the way out. Slyflux will not be able to get away from this one. Blink in from Fi, the manly Sand King, as he catches out X-Bearded Gamer. One more, and he ends up going down. 4 for 1 in the end. Advantage VG Gaming.
Oh yeah, and they just fought into Requiem Ice Blast. I'm not sure what they thought was going to happen there, but that's what happens when you fight into Requiem Ice Blast. Really nice rotations from Vici Gaming, and then their movement has just been so superb through all of these games, and definitely shows right there. They get a really nice set of kills for themselves, continuing to further their lead, further their advantage. 10k now in gold, XP even more so.
Plus to hit up on the top lane. Q looking to get his own Blink Dagger online. So yeah, it'll be a little more initiation, but these heroes are still kind of squishy here, not even at 1k in life. And when they engage in these team fights after their initial, after they initially blow their load, if you will, Greg, on all their skills, they don't have much to fall back on. You know, they're not going to be able to take up a lot of hits. If they get caught on the wrong side of an Ice Blast, you know, a Star Storm, they're going to fall very quickly.
Super gets a Mask of Madness. What a man. That is a manly pickup.
Why not, right?
I guess.
Really confident. Feeling very confident, I guess. I mean, they do have to be initiations, so if they catch him out with it, he is, you know, now pretty squishy, especially if he accidentally
he turns that thing on and gets hit.
You know, it can be rough, but I think he feels pretty confident on the
FY.
His team. Yeah,
he's been found out. He's going to go down. Arrow sales from Sylar. Ice Blast coming in as well. Disruption on Super. And looks like that might be it. Oh, nope. They got a nice engagement. Sylar up the hill. They grab Sorry Fox as well. Tornado somehow misses. ROTK gets another one. XBJ, he's on the run. Looks like he may go down again. Centaur with a good stomp. Perhaps buy them. Oh! Wow, regular Robin Hood from downtown. Takes down the Shadow Demon. Now MT on the run again as well. And Vici Gaming. Wow, they went way harder on that counter engagement than they thought they were going to. And Sylar, he like leapt sideways up the hill, shot an arrow, and that completely changed the fight.
How dare you take down our Sand King, man.
Yeah, right?
Vici Gaming just run back with the initiation, or the counter initiation rather. Nice little Tornado EMP. And Shadow Fiend is not a fan of that. He's been eating them all through this mid-game. But Vici Gaming still very confident right here. Pulling forward, winning that previous team fight. They want this Tier 2 tower. They want the gold.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that Lincoln Sphere is finished up for Sylar, this is a pretty interesting Mirana build. Like, we've seen this a lot on the carry Miranas, and it definitely gives you a lot more utility. And when you already have a huge damage dealer like Super, I think it's a really cool choice because you don't really need that. But now Tornado sails through, TP coming in as well. EMP on Super, he's going to get caught, turns on the BKB to try to get away. Now there's an Epicenter coming through, Ice Blast as well. And FY does, a lot of damage. Shadow Demon goes down. Now, continuing to fight. Q got hit by an arrow. He's on the run. MT re-engaging. Spike Carapace comes through. Not enough. And now, Sylar darting forward, looking for U9. FY on the run as well. He is solo, using the Midas in the middle of the fight. 4 kills for Vici Gaming. And a buyback.
I'm not positive, Greg, but I'm pretty sure that Mirana just saved the shit out of Shadow Fiend with that Lincoln Sphere. Like, at that last moment he put it on and it was quickly popped out. I couldn't quite see what spell it was to trigger it out, but definitely...
Wow, what a man. Yeah, and that, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. The Lincolns is just such a good item to bail people out. See, now he puts it on FY. Q goes down. Wow, Vici Gaming. I think they just ended this one.
Yep, quick cleanup work. Just the heavy damage coming out. There's not much Tongfu can do about it, and now they're forced to sit back and Centaur all by his lonesome. Has to watch his base fall. Has the Blink Dagger, but he's not going to be able to capitalize on it. Has to play back. Batrider moving very, very far forward. Doesn't want to give him any sort of space to work with. Ice Blast on the racks. That's not going to work, but why not, right? There's the Cyclone. They want Viper, but the run back here coming in by Centaur. The TP out, but with the BKB, he should be able to make it. Try to catch on the Sylar. They do catch it here. Tornado EMP. No more mana to leap away. If it's caught, Lincoln Sphere temporarily saves her life. Nice force coming out from ROTK to save her up the hill. And even, 3-man Burrow Strike. Lasso grab on the Invoker. Take that big collar into the jungle right there. Pulls him back. Now ROTK might be caught out the Viper Strike, slowing him down a bit, but now he runs into the Sylar. Sylar leaps away. YOLO 360 TP into the jungle and gets out of there.
Sorry, Fox. He's looking for someone, and there's no one else around here.
Mid lane, MT, burned down a little bit.
Oh,
the Impale pushed it
Ice Blast. Oh, just gonna miss.
4 steps all over the place right now.
Super's here. He's just manning up. He's picked himself a Chrysalis. He's got the Mask of Madness slowed by the Ice Wall. Now ROTK. Jeez, he doesn't care, dude. He's just like, whatever, I'm doing what I want.
Vici game, I think it's just a matter of time before they try to get in here and take it. They're like, they're just gonna clean this up right now. Nice grab, ROTK, pulls back and takes down the Shadow Demon, makes it look easy. Textbook Batrider right there. Rip it apart. Racks do end up going down. Tongfu, though, they don't want to throw up the white flag just yet. They're making a move on Super. Pops the BKB. He's happy to right-click on the Viper. There goes the Centaur ult. Here comes the ultimate. Blasts out. Won't quite do very significant damage. Arrow will catch on Centaur in the meantime. MT ends up falling. Super moving on to Omega Kill. Leap in. Epicenter. Burrow Strike. Q. See you later. They're thinking on making moves. They want more. Run in. Bloodthirsty. Ice Blast to fly. Will catch on the Invoker. Invoker forced staff to get away from this one. Shadow Demon shows up. Wants to save him out. ROTK getting caught out. Very slow here. Lincoln's to save. Will not matter. Moves to the cliff. Won't get it. Ultra ramp. What the hell just happened right now?
Super just went insane and killed everyone. And now the GG is called by Tongfu, unsurprisingly, after that thorough beating they just received in their base. And Vici Gaming, I don't know what else to call it besides just outplay Tongfu. I mean, it was just not even close for most
Yeah,
of
Vici
that.
Gaming, man. They're a veteran squad. They know what they're doing. Great effort on their part. Both games, Tongfu, there was a lot of promise there. They got some early kills in, some good early aggression, but man, just the game sense and experience coming out from VG Gaming is second to none. And now this makes me a little more excited, Greg, as we get to see later VG going against a newbie, and that's going to be a very nice match.
And last night, newbie absolutely wrecked LGD China. So, well, it should be a good match in our hands. But next up is going to be the two new squads, relatively unknown. CIS a bit better known than Orenda. That's who they're going to be going up against. That's going to be coming up next here on Beyond the Summit for the WPC East 2014. Again, I'm What Is Hip. You can find me on Twitter at WhatIsHipTV, and with me tonight is Coddle Guy, trooping it through. It is almost 5 in the morning here, and you can find him on Twitter at Coddle Guy. Hope you guys have been enjoying the broadcast. If you've got anything you want to talk to us about, make sure you hit us up on Twitter. Both of us pretty good about responding all the time, so we love hearing from you guys, and we'll see you in just a couple of minutes for the next set of games.